Welcome to a new Daily Top Askreddit video. Today's topic.
What sounds like complete bullshit but is actually true. There are more tigers in captivity in the US than in the wild worldwide. There are more Panda Express locations in the world than living pandas. Well, maybe if those restaurants stopped serving so much panda, there would be some still left in the wild. Orcas are natural predators of moose. In Alaska, the moose swim between islands. Orcas nab. Orcas are natural predators of moose. Today in sentences I was not prepared for. Clouds weigh hundreds of thousands of pounds. The air under a cloud weighs even more than the cloud itself. If not, the cloud would settle to the ground. Fog would like to have a word. Paint on a plane can add 600 to 1,200 pounds to the weight of the aircraft. That's why the Space Shuttle external fuel tanks, which were originally painted white, were subsequently left unpainted, to save weight. Early U-2 spyplanes were also left unpainted to reduce weight. I have had it with this mother %, caret and asterisking paint on this mother %, caret and asterisking plane. This is Reddit. You can say, monkey fighting, and, Monday to Friday, with an API-free amount of impunity. If sound could travel through space, the roar of the sun would be deafening even though it's 93 miles away. Then if the sun died, we'd hear its roar for the next 14.3 years after its light ceased. Edit. Someone did the math and I stand corrected. Edit 2. Grammar. That makes sense. But I learned in my astronomy class in college that when the sun dies, it will expand, engulfing the planets at least to Mars before contracting again and dying out. Crazy to think about. If the sun died without expanding first, we wouldn't know for 8 minutes after it happened. Then our sky would go dark. I remember reading stories of people born deaf that gained hearing later in life through technology. That was surprised the sun didn't make any noise. I also read this here, and have been thinking about it for the past few weeks. Wondering what noise the sun would make. How Up put it though makes total sense. It would roar. Sharks have existed on Earth for longer than trees have. Which automatically also makes them older than Saturn's rings. Which automatically also makes them older than Saturn's rings. Why? Are Saturn's rings made of trees? For millions of years, there was no bacteria that could disintegrate trees. The coal we dig up is ancient, compressed trees from before they disintegrated. There were layers upon layers of dead cellulose, plant fiber, based lifeforms forming a strata hundreds of feet deep. Nothing could decompose them, so they just piled up and up and up. Since no lifeforms fed upon him, the energy within remained. The result is hydrocarbons that humans burn for energy. They were rock, or oil, after a few million years. And there they sat, until the 1800s. Edit. Thank you for the gold, awesome Redditor. 14 years before the Titanic sank, a fictional story was written by a man named Morgan Robertson. In the story, the ship was described as the largest ever built at the time. Same as the Titanic. It was also woefully short on lifeboats. And it also struck an iceberg and sank. The ship in the story was also a triple-screw propeller liner, and it was named the Titan. That's mad. Did he ever say anything about after what had happened to the Titanic? Morgan Robertson. After the Titanic's sinking, some people credited Robertson with precognition and clairvoyance, which he denied. Scholars attribute the similarities to Robertson's extensive knowledge of shipbuilding and maritime trends. https en.wikipedia.org/wiki/the_rec_the_titan_or_futility. The longest manned, refueled flight in history was 64 days long. The aircraft used was a Cessna 172. My first thought was, wait, I thought they only had refueling jets for, like, fighter pilots and such. Then I saw a picture. That picture just gives me way more questions. I was about to call BS on this one, but I looked it up. That is absolutely amazing. I cannot imagine being stuck in a 172 for 64 days straight. I would go insane from claustrophobia. And that isn't even taking into account how disgusting it must have been to take care of bodily functions. https disciplesofflight.com/flight-endurance/. This also inevitably leads one to the question, how did they use the bathroom? Well, because the Cessna 172 doesn't come standard with a toilet. And there was no room to install a permanent one. Tim and Cook had to rig their own system. This took the form of a folding camp toilet and plastic bags. Once they had been used, the plastic bags were then disposed of over unpopulated areas in the desert around Blythe. According to Mark Hall Patton, the administrator of the Clark County Museum System in Las Vegas, I once asked John's widow if they handed down the waste during refueling runs. She said, no, that's why it's so green around Blythe. I honestly had the same initial reaction you did when I heard about this. It's an absolutely impressive feat. But also I completely understand why no one has tried to beat it. I remember spending 8 hours in a 172 in a day and I was so ready to be done with it by the end. All the planets in our solar system can fit between the Earth and the Moon. Yeah, but it would play havoc with the tides and evening lighting. Wow. Space is big. Really big. You just won't believe how vastly, hugely, mind-bogglingly big it is. I mean, you may think it's a long way down the road to the chemists. But that's just peanuts to space.